Sup everyone, and welcome to this week's Timmy B's Tuesday Top 10. Last week I did the top 10 shiny Pokemon of the Kanto region, and this week I'm doing the top 10 gym leaders from Gens 1, 2, and 3. Why only Gens 1 through 3? Well, it's a little bit easier to make this list of top 10, but I also have a plan, so don't worry. I'll do all the gens and then I think you'll like my idea. I based my rankings on a few things, such as the leaders' Pokemon and their gym types, the gym maze, and how tough or aggravating the battle was while playing. I also used the original game gym leaders and teams, so no remakes. This list wasn't so bad to get down to 10, but ranking each 1 through 10 was pretty difficult. If you disagree with me, comment which gym leader you have at the top of your list. Anyways, here we go. Number 10 comes from the Johto region, and I have Jasmine making the list with her Steel-type Pokemon. First of all, this is probably the longest task to be able to battle her, as you need to get medicine for the Ampharos, which requires surfing across the sea and back, so I hope you brought some repels. I also put this in the top 10 because in Gen 2, Pokemon introduced the Steel type and really wanted Steel types to be included and made it a gym around mid-game. The battle itself isn't too terrible with two Magnemites who are weak, but her Steelix caused a lot of trouble, especially for those who had no idea how to beat Steel types. Like me when I was 5 when these games came out. It would only take a couple of tries after that, so Jasmine wasn't too terrible to get by, so Jasmine barely gets into this list at number 10. At number 9, we're going to Kanto, and I'm going with Misty and her Water-type gym. This is the second gym in the history of Pokemon, so it's really nothing special, but she makes the top 10 because of her Pokemon. Now, you all know that Starmie is my favorite Pokemon, and yes, that did help, but she's also using later game Pokemon in the early part of the game. You can't catch a Staryu until you obtain a Super Rod and no Surf to get to Cinnabar Island, and you usually don't see that with early gym leaders. Think about it. Every first couple of gym leaders have Pokemon that you can easily obtain around the same time. That alone puts Misty in the top 10, and her having my favorite Pokemon puts her ahead of Jasmine. We're moving from Kanto to Hoenn for number 8, but we're staying with the second gym leader as I'm going with Brawler. The Dewford gym is pretty cool to get through, as after each battle the light flash in the gym gets a little bit bigger. Brawler uses Fighting-type Pokemon, which can pose a challenge for a young trainer this early in the game, with a heavy attack and decent defense. Machop is not much of an issue, but Makuhita is a tough fight as this is a beefy Pokemon, so it'll take a few hits no matter who you have on your team. Brawler looks a lot tougher than he looks. Back to Kanto for number 7, but this time it's Ninja Master Koga. Koga has invisible walls in his gym for a tough maze, and his team can be some trouble with some beefy poison-type Pokemon with Muck and Weezing. His two Koffings are mainly there to set up some smoke screens and poison you with Toxic, and Muck will set up Minimize so you can't really attack it, and the poison from Koffing will take you down eventually. But if you can get to his Weezing with at least one other Pokemon healthy on your team, there's a good chance Weezing will self-destruct itself for the win. Aside from that, Koga goes from gym leader in Kanto to Elite 4 member in Johto, which gives him a little bit of a boost in this top 10, but doesn't get him far. Number 6 is the final gym leader in Johto with Claire and her dragons. This gym was pretty cool to get to Claire, and this was a great type for a gym, and her Pokemon are tough with 3 Dragonairs and 1 Kingdra. Her Dragonairs will try to paralyze you with Thunder Wave, but they don't put up much of a fight after that. Her Kingdra will use a few smoke screens to make you miss and take you out with Hyper Beam. If you did not catch an Ice-type Pokemon in the Ice Path, you might need a few attempts to beat Claire. Speaking of final gym leaders, Wallace of the Hoenn region starts off the top 5. The Sootopolis gym is a fun puzzle to get through, and a bunch of trainers to battle if you fail. Wallace's team consists of 5 Pokemon, but only 2 are tough. Whiscash is a water-ground type, so electric moves won't work, and you'll need a second move or Pokemon to take it down easily with a grass move. And Milotic is a beefy beast that can take a few hits and then heal with Recover. And like Koga, Wallace becomes Pokemon Champion in Emerald and is truly the Water Pokemon King. Johto did a great job with gym leaders as Morty comes in at number 4. Morty is a ghost-type gym with an invisible floor puzzle to get to him. In battle, Morty will try to cheese you down with Spite, Curse, and a Hypnosis Dream Eater combination. This is a tough and aggravating battle for any young trainer if you really don't know how to beat Ghost, but luckily, there are plenty of Pokemon in the area that you can easily take down some Ghost and Poison types with Morty and his gym. Hopping back over to Hoenn for numbers 3 and 2, and Tate and Eliza of Moss Deep City take the spot at number 3. Gen 3 introduced double battles, and Tate and Eliza give you the toughest one in the game with 1 Soul Rock and 1 Lunatone. Both of these Pokemon have the ability Levitate, so ground-type moves are ineffective, and they're also part Psychic, so that basically eliminates Fighting-type moves. They'll set up a few times with Calm Mind, so it's going to take some time to whittle them down. As for the setup of the gym, you need to switch panels on the floor to make your way to the twins, and the battle is just as time-consuming. Number 2 is going to be our dad, Norman, of Petalburg City. Can you believe it took 3 generations of Pokemon games to give the main character a father? But a great entrance to the series with being a tough gym leader. Although Norman uses normal-type Pokemon, he has 2 beasts on his team with Slacking. These Slackings can take many hits and will also try to put you to sleep with Yawn. If you try to status them, not a problem. They have facades, so that'll make it more difficult for you. You're going to need to brute force them down with some strong fighting type moves, or else you can be in the battle for quite some time. To get to your dad, you battle a bunch of cool trainers who use an item in battle to help them out, so it's good and free experience to take them down for your team. Who do you think is number 1 for this top 10? Well, we're going back to Johto and Goldenrod City for Whitney. Every single person who has ever played Pokemon hates Whitney's Miltank, who can really do it all. It can make you flinch with Stomp, it can get you to love it with Attract, it can heal itself with Milk Drink, and power you down with Rollout. I think it's fair to say that most of the time we got past Whitney, it's a very lucky battle with some critical hits. After you beat her, she's in shock and a sore loser and will not give you the badge. You basically have to beg her to give it to you. Especially for being the 3rd gym, this was one of the toughest battles for a young Pokemon trainer, and that puts Whitney at number 1. So that's it. What do you think of my list? Who would you have on the list that didn't make it? And what should my top 10 be next week? Make sure to put all of those in the comments and then like the video and subscribe to my channel. You might as well ring the bell to be notified when all or some of my videos are released. Have a great day. I'll see you soon.